Good news. This video is shorter.
Bad news, it's just as hard to understand.
So last time we talked about who God is. We know that He's all-powerful, all-knowing, all-good, and all-loving. But what does that have to do with us? In fact, why are we here at all?
The first chapters of the Bible outline God's creation of the world. He makes light and darkness, sky, water, land, plants and animals, and everything else in existence. But on the last day of creation, God made something unique: humans. Genesis describes us as Imago Dei, which means the image of God. Practically, we see that this means we've been given authority to rule over the rest of creation and that we're responsible for caring for it. But again, why?
Remember how God exists in the Trinity? Three distinct beings that are at the same time one? Well, that is quite literally the perfect example of a relationship. And God wanted to share that with more than Himself, to love and to care for others. So He made us. Therefore, our entire purpose in existence is to be loved by God and to love Him back.
So God created humans, and at the beginning of time they lived together in perfect relationship with each other. We were fulfilling our purpose, but there's a problem here. In order to have a relationship, to love someone, you have to choose to, right? I can't just walk up to a random person and say, "You love me," and then expect it to actually happen. Or even if I could, that would be pretty meaningless because it isn't their choice. In order for humans to love God, He had to give us the option not to love Him. So God gave the first humans one instruction: don't eat the fruit from this one tree. And guess what happened? The humans totally ate the fruit. You can go read about that more in Genesis 3, but basically this is the first time where humans did the wrong thing.
When we chose not to love God, we were separated from Him. And now, by default, you and I are not in a relationship with Him. This is because everyone has this tendency inside them to want to do the wrong thing. Now, don't worry, you don't have to feel bad about it, but admit it. Sometimes you want to do something selfish or mean or even cruel. And we all do. And it's this tendency towards the wrong thing that still separates us from God.
But wait, good news. God wasn't okay with this. He did something about it so that you and I could still hope to have a relationship with Him again. God's plan to fix this and our part in that plan is essentially what the rest of Christianity is all about. But before we get to that, in our next video, we're going to talk more about what doing the wrong thing actually means: sin.